Hello, Preston Martelli here, and local client consultant and an online branding specialist. I'm here today. I'm going to put together a short presentation summarizing a presentation I put together for some students at a local college just last week. And in doing so, I noticed that some things I take for granted that I do on a regular basis. There are a lot of business owners that may not know how to do so, and this could benefit some people. So I'm just going to go through a quick presentation. This is going to go over the basics of social media. What are some of the fundamental things that you should keep in mind, and how to do some of the basic setups, and the primary one, which is on Facebook. All right, so let's just go through these quickly. I know you'll get a lot of value out of this. So first thing, what am I going to cover today? I'm going to cover about social media in the life of recreational leisure industry. That's what I was doing for the course, but I'll kind of gear this presentation more towards local businesses and the importance of, if you have a business, why it's so important. The second one is organizations, how organizations can use social media management to enhance their business objectives. Some of the common social media platforms that you may or may not know about. Which of the 4 fundamental platforms that every business should have? This is a matter of credibility and making sure that you appear like a real business online. And then the real life role playing. So I'm going to go through some of the basics of how to set up some of the basic profiles you need to do out there. And I'm going to give you an opportunity to practice or role play that. And then I'm going to teach you a couple of other skills that will help you. It was students, so I was going to help them, really teach them how to do some of those basic things to help them land their dream jobs, but nonetheless help you land your dream client. So first thing we did, we took a quick look at, this is an old slide from, I think last year I used to use it, but it's still pretty impressive, and the stats have only gone even more through the roof, but they're so ridiculously amazing here is how much traffic happens. This here takes a quick look at what happens in the internet in 1 minute. All right, so within a matter of 30 seconds, a fraction of what this video is going to be, we get over 30,000 hours of video can be uploaded to YouTube, which is the #1 search engine out there right now in terms of people consuming it. The second one is Google. So both of these are owned by Google actually, but you can get over 2 million searches happening every minute. On Facebook, upwards of 6 million Facebook views happen, and 277,000, and the numbers are just pretty ridiculous. Even if you go all the way down to something like Botnet, which is a video streaming site. People are doing a lot of consuming of video right now. 135. No, these are botnets. So these are infections that happen on the internet, like malware and so forth. So a lot of stuff happening, every minute out there, and you want to make sure that you are getting some of that traffic if you have a website or a business that's just not getting any visibility out there. So next thing, so look at what are some of the most commonly used platforms in terms of social media. It's a no-brainer. Facebook kind of dominates this industry. They're the big player at 93% of people who use social media actually using Facebook. Twitter comes in at a 79%, and it goes all the way down to the top 5 I would say that everybody needs, which is Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, and YouTube, because these two are so very close to each other. What are the roles of social media to business? All right, so first thing is increase exposure. Whether you're a really small business or a very large business, social media puts everybody in the same playing field, and it's just a matter of how much effort or time you put into social media that can really make yourself look a lot bigger than you actually are. The second thing is increased traffic. If you have an active social media page, and you do have traffic going to it, you can actually increase traffic back to your website or back to your actual business to increase your traffic and overall your top line revenue. You can develop loyal fans by having something where you can target on particular industries or particular interests. Using social media, you can develop people who are just naturally gravitate to you, similar interest people or your ideal customers. You can create really loyal fans because with social media allows you to communicate to them and actually allows them to communicate back to you. So creating a two-way conversation, that's where that term Web 2.0 comes up. It will provide you a marketplace for insights. What a lot of people don't realize with Facebook and so forth is that when you actually use Facebook the way that it should, Facebook actually tracks a couple basic demographics of people, and I'll go over these in a little bit later, but it allows you to see things like your gender, your age, your interests, your income level of the people who are actually following your page or people that actually like your page. Now, you could look at that as being a very creepy thing, or you can also really look at it as really a very helpful thing to be able to give people the kind of content that they're looking for when they search the web. Again, it's an awesome lead generation tool. Always keep that in mind. Another thing you keep in mind, this will help your search engine rankings. So if you're trying to get better search results in Google and so forth, search engines absolutely love social media. They call it social buzz. You hear that term used a lot. It basically means if they see a lot of traffic happening on your social media platforms that are pointing back to your website, chances are you have something that's very interesting that people are looking for, and chances are they're going to want to show your website as one of their listings as well. The next thing is it allows you to grow business partnerships. All right, so take this in consideration. You have a business and you have a complementary business to it. So for example, you are a barbershop and there's a local hair salon that may have complementary service. Well, you guys can work together and create a form of collaboration online where you can grow a better business partnership where you refer customers back and forth to each other. Okay. The other thing I want to stress here is that social media can really make you become an authority. If there's an opportunity for somebody to be a subject matter area in whatever particular topic that you're teaching, social media is a great platform that you can create videos, share content, write content, share images, and really present to people that you're an actual authority figure and get some traction around that for your customers. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about is it can definitely help you improve your sales. We talked about, just by getting more traffic, share volume, the majority of customers who, businesses who do social media correctly, they see a direct increase in their sales. And you can talk to, dozens and dozens of small business owners that, they pretty much market their business only using social media. All right, and then overall social media, like any online thing, allows you to decrease your marketing expenses, right? Some of the ways you'd have to go about before to get new customers, now you can do that for a lot less using social media. All right, so now you know some of the roles and benefits. Let's go into what are some of the top social media platforms. Okay, so number one I want to mention is Facebook. We talked about that being a big one, Twitter being another one, LinkedIn is a close number third, and then these last two, which is Google Plus and YouTube. I think every business out there should go ahead and create one of these profiles for themselves. Okay, so to keep it simple, I'm just going to explain Facebook because Facebook did take me a very long time to learn and really master. And if you understand Facebook, you've got the biggest, I think that's the biggest ROI, and the other platforms are very simple to follow. Okay, so to explain Facebook has kind of replicated the real world using the different Facebook platforms. So if you're using Facebook, you'll notice that there are 3 different ways you can have a Facebook account. There's actually a Facebook profile, which is your personal profile. You share family stuff, you connect with friends and so forth. The other one is groups, and then the last one is pages. So think of profiles as an individual person, a unique person. Everybody only has one person, one self. We haven't really mastered the ability to clone ourselves as yet. So technically, from Facebook's eyes, you shouldn't be allowed to have duplicate accounts. It's actually against Facebook's terms and conditions for you to do so. But nonetheless, it's kind of to replicate the real world. Now, having your unique personality, you can be part of multiple groups, right? Because groups are more for nonprofit organizations or idea sharing or events or people with similar interests. So you can be part of similar interests, and people within a group, they can interact with each other, talk, just like you would do if you go to a coffee shop with a business meetup, or you're meeting with other friends, or you're communicating information. So if you want to be going back and forth really, and with people that are following you, a group would be the ideal situation for you, because you can share events, you can invite people, all that kind of cool stuff. Now the next one is pages. Now think of a page more as a corporation, all right? So a corporate entity in the Facebook world. These are businesses, and that is what, if you have a local business, that is what you want to have set up for yourself. And a page, not a profile, not a group, but actually a page. Because with a page, although it has some restrictions, you aren't able to bring people into your, directly add people to your page like you could with a group or a profile. You can do things like market to people, and that's where you see people setting up fans and page and likes and so forth. I'll go into that a little bit more in detail, but the core of business ROI for a lot of people is setting up the correct pages. Okay, so let me just go through these one by one. The first one, this is my Facebook profile. So this is mine, Preston Martelli. I'm online. You need this to get online. Okay, it's going to represent you as an individual. The cool thing about Facebook profiles is you can actually control the visibility. You can make this public or private, or you can make it partially private or partially public. One big limitation if you have a business and you plan on growing very big is that you can only have a maximum of 5,000 friends on if you have a Facebook profile. After that, you're gonna have to start having followers. So if you're a business, you don't want to do that. The next thing is a group. So like I mentioned, people with similar interests. So very common, you'll see celebrities having nonprofits, having Facebook groups, or nonprofits or brands. Or even if you're trying to plan an event, Facebook is a great place, to put to send invites, keep people up to date. I see a lot of people doing that for weddings now, or different events that they're planning. They create a group, and groups are absolutely free to create, and you can add or delete as many of them as you want based on Facebook's rules right now. Moving on, so you can add friends, you can private message people, and so forth. The last one is pages. All right, so like I said to you, this is much more like looking at a company in the real world. A company can have one owner, they can have multiple directors or multiple business owners, and with a page you can do the same thing. You can have admins, and you can give them different rights. You can make them editors, whether they're the basic. You can have them be content adders. I forget the terms that they use, but there's everything from a full-on admin with all the rights to the business to an editor to an analyzer, so somebody can just look at your stats and see what's going on. And again, pages are usually, for the most part, very public and allow a lot of communication back and forth. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about here is in terms of your page. You can do things like people can actually give you a review on a Facebook page, which you can't do with any of the other ones. They can check into your location, so you see a lot of that happening when business is actually showing them checking in to share with their friends. That really gives your business a huge advantage if they can do these two things, right? So they can review you 5 stars. If they think your business is fantastic, they can also check into your business and letting their friends know that you've been there as well. As you can see, I'm just logging into Starbucks right here, and everybody who I have as a friend, you can actually see them on here, and it gives me a bit of social proof saying, hey, this is kind of cool. 38 of my friends actually like Starbucks. Okay. The cool thing about it, which I'm going to go into next, is I'm going to explain to you why is the difference between running ads to fans, looking at some of the interests, as well as the activities on Facebook. All right, so to create a Facebook group, very simple. You can either go to this web URL right up here, which is facebook.com/groups/create, or if you go right up here, there's a little arrow. You just want to click on that little down arrow, and then you go right down to the spot where it says create groups. Okay, you can do that right here, or you can go down to create ads if need be. Okay. Then you're going to get to a page that looks a lot like, then you just follow through the steps. It's very, very simple. The next one is you do the same thing for pages. You go to facebook.com/pages. You decide which one of these categories best describes your business, and then based on the one that you choose, they'll walk you through the steps. So this one is actually a physical location or business. So this is, they have an actual location storefront. This one is if they're more virtual, small business or non-profit organization that's virtual. This one is a brand or product, so if you're selling something online. This one is for bands, and they're all pretty self-explanatory, guys. If you have any questions, fire them right below in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer you back as quickly as possible. The next one is posting on your fan page. All right, so here, this is one of my fan pages, and what this allows you to do is to see, you can actually go on here and post. And what can you post? You can post status updates, you can share links, you can even share photos or videos. And I'll tell you guys, sharing photos or videos is one of the best ways to get extended reach on Facebook. You just click right on here and you can share a video. You can create a video on your smartphone and upload it right into Facebook's platform. Here's a little secret. If you use Facebook platform, your videos get shared a lot more than if you upload it to YouTube and share the link over here. Okay, and then you can do other things like create an event or create a special offer for your customers. What's cool about if you're putting a post on as a page rather than a person is that as a person you can only put on a post right now. It's real time. But if you're doing it as a business, Facebook allows you to actually schedule your post. Okay, now think about this. This is really cool, because let's say you run a busy restaurant, and you know that the time that most people are looking for food is around, maybe around 11:30. They start deciding where they want to go for lunch, because lunch is coming up within half an hour to an hour, depending on where you work. You want to send out a post at 11:30 to remind them, but you might be too busy at that time to not remember to actually send out the post. So what you can do is you can actually pre-schedule that post, from maybe at 8 o'clock in the morning, and schedule it to go out at 11:30. So it makes your page look a lot more active, and you can react to when your people are actually looking for it. Okay, and you can do other things like set the location of your post. You can set emotions for it, so feeling excited and all that other cool stuff you can do in your actual post profile. All right, you can post. Another cool thing is with a page, because it's like a company entity, you can either post to the page as yourself, so your personal profile. So I can post as Preston Martelli, or I can post as a company. So that keeps me a little bit more anonymous, and it makes it look, and so you can have multiple people posting, and nobody apart from the people within the company know actually who puts the post out. The customers just looks like you made a post. All right, and then another cool thing you can do with it, you can actually boost a post. If you inside of as a page. And what it means to boost a post is that I can send a post out on Facebook, and I know you've probably seen those before. It's like a sponsored ad that comes up. Well, I can actually create a sponsored ad and send that out to people that fall in a specific demographic for me. And let's go right into that next point, which is looking at the demographics on Facebook. All right, so when you're creating an ad, you can create an ad for any one of these categories right here. You can boost a post, which we talked about just now, promote your Facebook page to get new likes. You can send people to your website. You can get people to perform a specific action on your website, like buy a product if you have something online. You can get them to download an app if you have developed an app. You can get them to engage with your app. So maybe just check it out, or you might have an online app that you might want to get people engaged in. All right, this is a new one. It's really cool. It allows you to reach people near your business, right? So if you have a local business and you want to promote to people nearby, Facebook now actually allows you to just put in your postal code, and you can say, hey, I want to reach people within 5 kilometers of my business. Okay. The other thing is, if you have an event, you can use it to raise attendance to your event. You can send out, remember, you can send out to particular people in a different demographic, so they can sign up for an event that's going on. You can claim an offer. So we saw how we can create an offer in the previous tab. Well, here you can actually send that to people to actually claim it. Hey, come in and get 2-for-1 pizza tonight. It's game night. You can really target them for that. And then the last one, which is my favorite right now, is get video views. So I could publish a video right on Facebook, like this one. I'm probably gonna do that with this one. Put it on Facebook and spread it around to teach people how to use Facebook. Okay. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Let's jump right on to the next one in terms of demographics. So now, remember when I told you how Facebook kind of shows you full demographics, and every time you put your gender down on Facebook, you put your birthday, you put your age, and all these other things that you communicate on Facebook, you got to keep in mind that Facebook is actually tracking that information, and Facebook allows anybody who's doing marketing, like myself, to target people based on particular interests. So for example, as you can see the screenshot I took a screenshot of everybody who lives in the United States and who's 18 and above, and all genders. But I can actually narrow it down to a specific city or specific area code in the United States, a specific age bracket, gender, interest. So people who like dogs, or people who like pictures of cats. All right, that's a specific unique interest. Or let's say you have a restaurant, people who like to dine out. That's another great thing. I can narrow it down by people who are connected to another page that I manage, or to another particular interest. Okay, and I can have it either people who are connected to or not connected to one of the pages that I currently manage. All right. So to give you guys a quick wrap up, I'm keeping this under 20 minutes. What did we cover here today? So you know how to name what the top social media platforms are out there. So I definitely give you the challenge that right after this video, go out there and create those 5 basic social media platforms for yourself. If you don't remember, just go back in the video and you'll have all of them listed there. Top benefits for small businesses. So I kind of geared this towards businesses and organizations, although I use this presentation for a class. And then I showed you guys how to set up groups, pages, and post. All right, as well as how to see where to get ads on Facebook, and how to look into what are some of the demographics that Facebook allows you to market to. All right, I hope this has been very useful to you guys. If this is something that helps you, feel free to share it. Like my channel, because I'll be putting more and more extended version of these videos out there for you guys. And feel free to leave me any comments below, or if this helped you, fantastic. If you have any further questions, I can help you out. Take care.